Welcome to Path of Faith, where we strive to uplift and enlighten your spirit, offering solace and wisdom in times of darkness and doubt. Today I was talking at home, and we were discussing an event involving someone we love very much, a difficulty, a suffering they went through, a loss, and I was just talking about how important it is, how much of a difference it makes in our lives when even when we're suffering, even when we are hurt by events, don't allow the victim mentality to take root within us. Because the victim mentality, the one that conditions us, to think, oh, poor me, I didn't deserve what happened to me. That spirit, it's very diabolical within us because it breaks our capacity for recovery. Every time I think life has been unfair to me, every time I think life owes me something, I naturally paralyze my strengths and anything that could lead me forward. And sometimes we are very cruel to ourselves like that. We feed for years and years and years without realizing that we are feeding this victim spirit. Life owes us nothing. No. Life is always beautiful if we perceive it as such. If we're willing to cast our eyes on what still remains. Okay, we lost. And what can we do to recover even a little more than what we lost? Sometimes in some situations that we think were a loss, it was actually a blessing. Because before I used to get really annoyed, by anything. Sometimes I'd get annoyed about a flight that went wrong. Not today. I've been trying to replace the logic of what annoyed me with this. So it didn't happen because I wasn't supposed to go. So I'll make the most of this moment I have here and see what good I can extract from it. And when we start to abandon this spirit that's sometimes diabolical, then why is it diabolical? Because it disrupts the harmony within us. So many times I have diabolical feelings. If I look at my life and see myself as a poor victim, poor me, this self-pity, that's diabolical. It's a diabolical feeling. What I need to do is roll up my sleeves and get to work on what I can still do, and even recognize the part I play in what doesn't go right. Because sometimes it's a sequence of mistakes. It went wrong here, it went wrong there, and I don't have the courage to start looking at how I've been doing things. Sometimes it's a disharmony that precedes all other mistakes. A disharmony that I'm often used to and no longer perceive its effects on me. So, a good way for us to heal our behavior, what is often determinant in us, our way of being, I need to heal my way of being. It's me realizing the beauty of life. Yes, life is beautiful. Rid myself of victimhood and go fight. Go seek my share. There's so much to live, my friends. Visit a hospital and you'll see. When a person faces the limit, illness is like that, right? It strips us of all the excesses. We become very real. Find someone who is living the destitution that illness shows, and you'll see a real human being. Because sometimes when we're very healthy, very full of opportunities, we hide, we pretend. But illness doesn't. It takes everything from us. It takes everything that could seem like a hiding place for us, everything that could function as a hiding place. In fact, I keep identifying how, when a person experiences maturation, how they discard these hiding places throughout life. And it's so good to live with these people who no longer need hiding places. Maturity does that to us. We discard the hiding places that were once so fundamental for us to be who we wanted to be. And then the passage of time makes it so that those who are truly interested in us stay by our side, not just in our shells. Because success is a shell. Sometimes people approach you because they know you're someone who succeeded in your field. So it's good to be seen with you. It's good to take a photo with you. It's good to show others that they're close to you, that they're your friend. But in reality, they're not interested in who you are. They're interested in the shell you have, which helps them have another shell, which might be interesting. Today, we live in this time where we demonstrate ourselves so much, show ourselves so much. This can become a neurosis because you end up seeking people not to truly meet them, but to feed your need to document and have material to post later. So when we meet and don't feel the need to publicize what we've experienced, it's because we truly appreciate what we've experienced. I'm not saying publishing is a problem. I'm saying that often in the excess of publication, we're hiding our need to instrumentalize the other, to just enjoy the shell that is the other. Success is an example. But money, too. How many people approach others because of what they can materially offer them? Which is also nonsense, because it could be the most comfortable situation in the world. Personally, I can't stand it if my soul isn't feeling good. Oh, that boat is wonderful. We're going to spend a week there. God forbid a wonderful boat with people we don't identify with. What might seem like paradise to me is hell. Oh, but we're going on a beautiful trip. All expenses paid. And what do I pay to be there emotionally? And there are people who subject themselves to this. They spent the weekend just read here to show off, just to maintain their own shell and that of others. And then the emptiness of the heart naturally happens. We become hollow inside because life is so outward, and so little inward, that we end up losing our own inner joy. So overcoming all this so that life is worth it requires daily reflection, requires a daily exercise of identifying where are we really exercising ourselves. I'm talking about myself too, of course, but I'm sure you, in different instances, experience the same conflict I do. You also notice the social hollowness, the anthropological hollowness all around you, or even within you, because that has been a characteristic of our times. We are increasingly empty. We are disinclined towards content. We are very fond of brief speeches. And with that, we are causing a terrible human loss. We're empty, we're foolish, we're superficial, we're trivial. And this triviality, this superficiality, has caused a terrible social loss. And that's why we need to keep emphasizing this. If we don't change the way we educate our children, instilling values in them from an early age, we shouldn't expect change. If I skip the toll booth to avoid paying, and if I'm enjoying it like everyone else who pays, I have no right to open my mouth to talk about corruption in Brasilia. If I'm not honest in my working relationship with my employee, if I deprive him of his rights, if I'm not fair to those who work with me in compensation, I have no right to speak. Of the thieves who loot stores, who feel entitled to break everything. So it's a chain. I don't want to be left out of this reflection. You know why? Because the hollow world is also in me. God forbid I keep making moralistic speeches, putting myself outside of history. No. I also have to manage the dangers of frivolity daily. Or do you think I'm immune? I'm not. I reflect all the time on how I choose to be who I am, to be who I can be, And if we don't rid ourselves of the complacency that makes us crazy, foolish, superficial, and unable to transform realities, we lose the joy of life. Because what's good, what makes us feel alive, is precisely when we realize that we contribute to a process. And over time, we start giving up wanting to change the world, When we're younger, we have all those dreams. That thing, I'm going to be a revolutionary. Until the day you discover that you can't change much. Okay, but then where can I? And you start acting in the space that suits you. For example, by pulling people out of this victim mentality, I can't maintain the victims. That poor person, eternally pitiful, who doesn't even want to work, who we have to carry on our backs forever. I'm not obligated. Oh, but Father, what about charity? Charity, my daughter, is opening the eyes of the other so that they go get their share. Sometimes charity is putting the other in their place. Enough. I'm not your automatic debit. How many of us within our homes represent this? We stopped being people a long time ago. The other only sees us as an automatic debit. There's nothing crueler than that. You even lose the pleasure of helping because the other only sees you as an ATM where they go, enter a PIN, and take what they want from you. Sometimes we maintain these relationships because we lack the courage to break the victimhood that is within us, that is in the other. I learned a lot of this from life. Sometimes the victim is maintained by me, who insist on helping, and don't realize that sometimes the best way to help is to wake them up, say no once in a while, so that they start living again. This life is too beautiful to be wasted with dishonesty or for me to be forever a poor victim, always justified by the difficult past I had. There are so many stories inside me that would give me the right to say, wow, come on, Father Fábio, poor thing, what a difficult life. No, I don't want that. No. What I want is to recruit daily what life can offer me, even if it's just a little thread. I'll hold on to it. Life I want to conquer through hard work, because I already have God's grace. Oh, but if I don't do the hard work, grace doesn't act. Grace doesn't even produce effects on me if I don't put in the hard work. That's how it works. Want an easy life? Sit on a coconut pudding. It's been a pleasure having you with us on Path of Faith. We value your feedback, so please share your thoughts in the comments, give us a thumbs up, share this video with others, and hit the subscribe button to stay connected with us.